Hey guys, this is FPL Tips and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video. In this video, we'll be reviewing Game Week 5. It is important to look at some stats and some data that has come out of Game Week 5. It is essential. The FPL landscape is changing too much, so we'll not waste time. We'll straight dive into the stats and what we need to take away from this Game Week. First, we look at the XGs and compare the XG conceded of most of the games. Something that I need to highlight again, Wolves again for consecutive game week have conceded over 2.5 XG. Something to make note of. They've been conceding a lot of XG in the recent games as well. It could become a team to target going ahead. Spurs Sheffield, there's nothing to note. It was pretty expected. Man City again, they had an XG of 4.5 against West Ham. West Ham, despite having a low block sort of a situation, have been conceding chances even against Chelsea, even against Brighton. So there has been a dent in their defense, and that is something we need to cater and take into our decision making. They're not as solid as they used to be defensively. Moving on, Aston Villa had 2.2 XG. Crystal Palace also had some decent amount of XG accumulated against Aston Villa. When you move on, an interesting game, Manchester United versus Brighton. Manchester United have only 0.72 XG, which is ridiculous given the amount of chances they had, the chances they should have converted. We'll look into the player stats as well. But it looks very low when you look at that number. And it is becoming a red flag. The United players are not performing well, and they probably need to get out of our teams as well. Moving on, we have Newcastle versus Brentford. Brentford still manages to score about 0.6 xg. Again, Newcastle have proven to be a good team. They did not concede a lot of big chances, good defensive side, and they will be popular picks going ahead, especially for replacements for the defenders we want to take out from our team. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Both teams have about 1.4 xg. Chelsea failed to score, so did Bournemouth. We expected a lot more from Chelsea in an attacking point of view from this game, but again, nothing to take away from. They did nothing, and those players are also on the sell list at the moment. Arsenal surprisingly only managed again 0.8 xg, which is again, it's sort of a trend where Arsenal are not creating high xg in comparison to last season, and it's something we need to monitor and cater into our decision making, because going ahead we might have to remove Arsenal players as well, and we shouldn't be too hesitant to do that with looking at data at least. We straight dive into the player section where we look into players and how their performance have been in this game week. We'll start with the underperformers because that's something interesting that I want to point and take a look at. When we look at the underperformers, here's the table. The table and data is all taken by FF Scout. They have an amazing members area and members table. I'm a member too. You can sign up using their membership page. It's pretty decent and you should definitely check it out. It's not a paid promotion, but something I regularly use and you should do. One of the highest underperformers when you look at this table is Haaland. This is sorted by XGI, which is the difference between how many goals or involvements did he actually have and how many he should have at least 1.5 more goal involvements than he did, and which explains when you look at the data also, you'll realize that he accumulated 2.59 xgi and he had only one goal involvement, which explains the difference. We can see and we can understand he had about 6 big chances and he missed 5 out of them. So again, on data, Haaland had a very poor game, and it's sort of indicating his form to me as well. But City created a lot of chances for him, which is something I take away from this as well. Rodri surprising on the list as well, 1.32 xg delta, which is something to take note of. He had no involvements obviously, but he's constantly popping up on the data chart where maybe he could become an option eventually if you want a wildcard and have a City player you have a slot, because he's nailed on to start, we know so sure. He gets out those odd goals and now he's creating chances as well, so something to take note of for. Again, Rashford also on the list, 0.72 xg delta xgi. Again, he did not have any involvements. Same with Diaz. Cash also, if you look at Cash's number, he had 2 shots, 2 big chances, big shots, not big chances, but again he should have scored those chances, so he had a decent non-pen xg of 0.6 as well. On another day you would expect him to score, but again, nothing much from this game for him. Sterling had a decent game, but no shots on target if I remember correctly. When I look at the data, there's nobody else that stands out for. There's Guardiola that had 0.4 xgi, which did not convert. So that's the only player that stands out from this list. Apart from that, pretty much Bruno Fernandes also on the list, which is xgi delta of minus 0.5. Again, could not convert, but I'm not surprised because that's how the game went for Bruno. Last name that I want to highlight is Watkins. He had again delta xgi of 0.6. He is getting into positions, but again is not being able to convert them. He's definitely going out from a bad form patch, And if you have him, I wouldn't be very. The data says that you should keep him and encourages you to keep him. But again, it's sort of a situation. If he gets on a streak, you can probably hop on. But as of now, I'll just avoid. He could get an odd goal here and there. He's not on penalty, so that will also not contribute to his form or confidence boost. So I'd probably look at alternatives if I can. At 8 million, I think he's is getting a bit overpriced at this point. Next up, we look into some more data. I think we have player data that we can look at. Yes, here's the player data. This is again from FS Card. It's a customized table for myself. This is what I look every game week. This table is at the moment sorted by XGI, which is the expected goal involvement. Haaland tops it. He had about 2.5 XGI in the entire game. He was the perfect captaincy choice. Most of us did go there. Some people did go Son or Madison. Again, those players could have scored too, but again, Haaland was clearly the better choice. And West Ham have proven again that they're defensively not that strong. Again, big chances total, 6 big chances if you look at it. 9 shots inside the box. So he's getting into positions where he should be, and City are catering to it. So I expect Haaland to keep gaining from his on penalties as well. So there's no way he's not getting points, and there's not point dodging happening every game week. Something interesting again, Salah second, XGI of 1.71. A lot of it coming from the XA, which is 1.4. So he's taking a bit of a creative role again. He has 5 chances created this game as well. Only 1 shot for Salah. So for people who want to maybe wildcard this game week, it could be a scenario where you can drop him and you can think about it again in game week 8 or 9. But he's been very consistent. Those 5.8 point hauls have been coming in. So nothing wrong. He's pretty consistent, becoming sort of a Kane sort of a player from last season, where he's consistent. He's getting those points, but again, he obviously has the haul in him, like the ceiling to have a haul, but at the moment doesn't look like that. Rodri popping up on that list of 1.32 XG XGI we discussed earlier as well. He had 5 shots, 2 inside the box. Again, he's popping up as a player, 4 chances created. He's popping up as a player who can be an option because he's nailed on from City. And if he keeps on getting into certain position, especially against the tougher sides when you know there is low blocks, teams which will play low blocks against City, you can consider him. Most players had about decent game, and we'll look at the other stats. First, we'll look at the chances created stats, which Salah is on the top. There's Kulusevski who's second. Now, something I want to point out here for people who are interested, because he got a goal as well. Kulusevski created 5 chances but only had an XA of 0.3, which really indicates that his and 0 big chances, 2 big chances out of those, but really indicates that most of his chances were low XG chances and wouldn't have been converted irrespectively. So I think there's something you need to take this data with a pinch of salt, and Kulusevski is not like an highlight out of this. Yes, he played good. He has 7 shots. That's more what I'm interested in. His XG non-pen was also decent, but I think the shots is where I'm more interested in rather than the creativity. So overall, still looking good. He's looking nailed in that team. Rodri, we discussed. There's Bernardo Silva. There's Julian Alvarez. That's 4 chances created for him, 1 big chance, and he's taking up that position. He's in and around the box. He did not have a lot of shots inside the box. About 0 shots inside the box, 2 shots in general, but created good chances, 2 assists as well. XA of 0.4, had a decent game. Madison, although had a surprising game, I thought he was very good on the pitch, but again, 0 big chances and 0 big chances created as well. Something odd, he created 4 chances would look very evident, but again, low XG chances, low XA chances, even if they would have been converted. Another player that stands out for me, and you should probably consider if you're considering wildcard or even just considering holding on to him, is Kabure. He started, I think. He had 3 chances created, 2 big chances, and 1 shot inside the box. Decent XGI, 0.4 involvement for a defender from Luton. I would take it at 4 million. Because a lot of people are still in demand, should we keep him? He's getting rotated at times, but I would still, because he's one of the better attacking assets at that price point. So yeah, I would hold on to him. Moving on, we have big chances created. Again, Salah first, Kulusevski second. There's no Kabure tops up that list. He comes 4th on the list. Something to monitor. Rashford had 2 big chances created, but again, that accumulated, that there was pointless chances at 0.03 XA. Again, doesn't really reflect a lot on those big chances. I think the person who had those chances served on missed it completely. So that is why the XA is a bit skewed here. But again, 2 big chances to note for. Guardiola had 1 big chance, which is surprising. Again, 2 chances created, 1 big chance. Same with Walker. So Guardiola, again, if he keeps on being consistent as a starter, then we can consider him. And there's Diaby that we need to probably monitor. He had 2 shots and 2 chances created, decent XGI, racking up. Yep. when you want to big chances total, Haaland stands out, and there's no other player who had more than one big chance. So again, not much to discuss in this list. I think it was only Haaland and Haaland show. When you look at shots, you'll be surprised to see with the amount of XG accumulated by United and in general Rashford. You realize that most of United XG is coming from Rashford. United had about 0.78 XG, 0.69 is coming from Rashford. So again, he's the guy to own if you're going to own any United asset at the moment. He had 9 shots, 6 inside the box. He's definitely involved in everything United want to do. And if there is a United player you want to take, he is the guy you want to look at. Kulusevski had 7 shots. Vissa again racking up the shots, 5 shots, 4 inside the box. Again, low XG shots, only 0.3 non-penalty XG, but again, looking good at the moment. And if you don't have the money a slot for Mbeumo, he's a good option from Brentford. Foden had 5 shots, which was good. Most of his shots were in and around the box, around the edge of the box, not inside the 6-yard box. But again, yeah, he had some chances, not around the 6-yard box though. Watkins with 4 shots, 4 inside the box. Again, he's taking good positions, but again, completely out of form. I need to touch upon Rashford. He had 4 shots, but again, zero on target. So, do I look too much into the shots? No. When you look at the game, you realize that his shots were not that good. Again, his conversion rate is not looking good. Overall, Chelsea look like a bad team. So, no, I wouldn't really pay attention a lot to the stats here. And I would really try to move out from that space. When you look at Jackson's not even present here. Here's Jackson. If I look, Son, Jackson pretty much together. Both had 0 chances created, 0 big chances, 0 big chances created as well. 3 shots for inside, 3 shots for Jackson, 2 shots inside the box, and they accumulated about 0.27 non-pen XG. For Son, it was even lower, 0.16. Again, this was probably not the game for Son, and we all knew it, but we still went with it because he's playing striker, which could change in the coming games because of Richarlison. You only look slightly down, you'll find Richarlison 2 shots. He came on, had 2 shots, 2 shots inside the box, one chance created as well. With playing minimal minute, I think he played about 20 minutes and he accumulated about 0.3 XG. It looks good. I think it's promising when you look at a player of that sort of stature. And lastly, shots inside the box. Again, most of these players have been discussed. I think nothing stands out of here. We'll just go through the non-pen XG again. Bailey stands out here. I think between Bailey and Diab is sort of a dilemma. It's more of a form pick. I think Bailey is more on form, but Diab is still more nailed on in my opinion. He's more fit. He's the first choice, and he's playing sort of an up-top striker with Watkins. So again, if I had to pick someone, I would go Diaby only because he's more nailed and like how he is positioned in the game. But form pick would be Bailey at the moment. Cash, we talked about Welbeck. Again, he's not much of use for the FPL teams at the moment, so I wouldn't really go into that. No other player is worth discussing. But yeah, the game week it was sort of this way. We'll come back to how our XG data look like. And again, when you the talking points again obviously should be wildcard or not. There are red flags in a team, which is all Chelsea players. We have at least 2. Most of us have 3. So 3 Chelsea players, United players at least 1, which is there. Pickford again is a red flag. You gotta remove him. Despite Everton doing defensively decent, I think there's better money out there. So there's Pickford, which is the reason. Chilwell is getting dropped again. I discussed that. Saliba has tough fixtures coming up, so most people want to move him. And I think popular move, if you're looking for a free transfer, I think popular move would be Chilwell to a Trippier, or maybe a downgrade to Scar or Botman, depending on where you want to put the funds. That's one of the transfers that I would already recommend and people should think into. Then if you're looking at removing Sterling or maybe Jackson to Alvarez is going to be a popular one. You'll have news ahead of that. And Sterling to Bernardo Silva could be an option as well, because Bernardo Silva on the wing does decent. You look at the stats, he had 4 shots, he was doing decent, he created 3 or 4 chances. So there is enough data to support Bernardo Silva as well. If I had to look at somebody else from the team, Liverpool is again a problem sort of situation, because Salah, the jump from any 7 or 8 million midfielder to Salah is too much, and his ceiling doesn't look that high. He's pretty much 5 or 8 points. Can any other player from Liverpool get that sort of a ceiling is something that I'm considering. Yes, but when I come to my personal team, it was decent. I ended up with about 41 points, which is not the greatest, obviously. But again, couldn't do much. I think that with the sub in, it will become 43. A low scoring game week, I captained Haaland too. None of my players performed. None of the clean sheets. Estupiñán didn't play for me. Chilwell didn't play for me. And I think I had Saliba, who's the only clean sheet in my team. Pickford couldn't keep a clean sheet. I think I have Turner left, so that's some. I don't have Pickford in the lineup. I have Turner, so that's some sort of a hope to get 6 points if he starts. But I am strongly considering wildcard, and here's how I'm going to line up if I play wildcard. I will just show you my team. This is how I'm possibly planning to line up if I play my wildcard. Ariola, Fleckin, Botman, Shkar, Estupinian, Pinnick, Kabure, Sun, Diaby, Salah, Saka, Embuemo, Alvarez, Archer, and Haaland. So this is my lineup as of now. What I'm thinking, if I wildcard in game week 6, the reason to wildcard and hit wildcard early is my game week 6 and game week 8 teams are not predominantly very different. There is only one or at max two players which will be different from now till game week 8, maybe 9 or 10 if I look at the drafts. And when I gave a thought about it, can I, with free transfers, get to my wildcard team from game week 6 to 9? Yes, I can. And when I look at this team, I see points here. When I look at my current team, I don't really have any confidence or points. Look like that team is scoring points. So I definitely want to move away from that team. And here's how I would wildcard if I was supposed to. But these are obviously early thoughts. I'll be discussing more about the wildcard draft in a wildcard video coming ahead in this week. But yeah, this is it. This is it from this game week. We'll see you in another game week review video soon. If you like this content, please hit the like button and let us know in the comments what do you want, which tables or of tables do you want to get included. And again, thank you Fantasy Football Scout for letting us use the members area table. If you haven't really become a member till now, you should consider becoming their member. But yeah, this is it from my side. This is FPL Tip signing off. Cheers.